Just wanted to share with you a brand new automation that I have built in n8n. It's a Facebook ads analyzer. And I just wanted to walk through exactly what this does and let me know if it's something that you want me to share or make a tutorial for so you can build your own. But this is something I built for me in my own business, and I just wanted to share it because I thought it was pretty cool. So we initially have a node that basically just adds a lot of information about my brand, and this just helps the automations and the AI agents later on just understand a little bit more about me and my business. And then we are going to scrape Facebook ads using Apify. And here you can basically just go and add your competitor URLs. So these are the URLs from the Facebook ads library for your searches that you've done for the competitors that you're interested in. And then it will essentially scrape those. And the way Apify works is that this is an async process. So it will send this off. Then you got to wait. For mine, it usually takes about 60 seconds. So I have an initial wait node of 60 seconds. And then I'm going to check if it's finished after 60 seconds. If it's not, we'll just wait 5 more seconds and we'll keep doing that in a loop, because usually it takes about 60, maybe 90 seconds, but I don't want to have to wait longer than I need. So we just check every 5 seconds after the initial 60. Everything later on gets stored in my Notion database. So all my scraped ads, everything like that is stored in Notion. So in this stage, we're just pulling in the data that we already have in Notion so we don't duplicate ads. If there's no data, it doesn't matter. It will just say there's no data and it will continue. And then we're going to merge these together. So you can see in this stage, we've pulled 101 items. So we've got 101 ads and we already have 23 in Notion. Once we merge them and we keep only the new ones, we have 78. Now, in Facebook ads library, there's 4 different types of ads that I was aware of. There's video, there's image, there's DCO, and there's carousel. And DCO can be a mixture of image and video, which is kind of annoying. So I've built this method of normalizing the ads. So if we just have a look, like the data that's coming in, you can see that we have the ad copy, profile URL, we don't need that, but we've got the ad copy, we've got the asset URLs, so there's an extra thing called cards, and I believe this only applies to DCO and carousel. And then we've just got some other information all about the ads and those kind of things. So basically what we're doing is we are just checking if it is a video, and we know it's a video. If it's an image, if it's DCO carousel, we split it all out. And let's say it's a video. We're just normalizing everything. So taking the brand ID, the brand, the page likes, the display format, the ad body, ad content, platforms, audience age, a new adjusted manual display format, and then the archive ID. The audience age doesn't appear on everything. So some ads it will have this, some ads it won't. I think for all video, oh no, so for this one it does. Like for most video ones it doesn't. I don't really know why what the rules are for the parameter, but it doesn't really matter. Like it just won't print that data if it's not available. And then all of these do exactly the same thing. So this is for image and it normalizes for image. Then the DCO ones, we're splitting them into image and video. And then again, we're normalizing these. And we're just hard coding a new display format. And then what that does is basically it normalizes everything and merges it back together. Then some of these can have duplicates in them, which is kind of annoying. So we remove those duplicates. And then we split the image and video again. We're just double checking to remove duplicates. And then we're going to loop over each individual ad and do some analysis for that. So just in this first step, essentially what we're doing is we are scraping the ads, we are aggregating the ads, we are filtering the ads, and then we're going to start processing them. So what that processing looks like, we're coming down here. So I like to do my loop processes by executing another workflow, and that just keeps the initial workflow a little bit tidier, or sub-workflow rather, keeps the initial a little bit tidier, and it also just prevents like memory issues and that kind of thing. So we pull it through, we run our analysis. If it's a video, what we're going to do is we're going to download the video from the Facebook ads library we've got the URL for that from a previous step. We'll download that. We've just got some code to process it. And essentially what we're doing is we are extracting the files. We're doing three things. Extract the file, set the schema, send it to Gemini for analysis. So Gemini, I believe, is one of the only tools that can analyze videos. And then we're going to extract the information and forward it on. Then I have DeepGram that's going to transcribe the video, and you get $100 free credit on DeepGram. And I haven't used anywhere near $100. So that's a cool tool that you can use for free at the moment. And it's also quite cheap if you do end up paying for it. And then we're going to upload the file to Google Drive. So let me just get some data in here so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so now we have some data for the video. So we've got our video that we're pulling from Facebook, and we can download it here, but we're not going to. Annoyingly, some of the videos, so this is something to be aware of, some of the videos, if you look at the URL of them, you'll see that they are _n dot, and then the question mark with the URL parameters. Typically, this should be n.mp4 or whatever the video format is. But for some reason, in some ad library assets, the mp4 is omitted. That then causes an issue because it produces the wrong MIME type and the wrong file extension. It's tremendously annoying. What we do then, I just have a code node that is just resetting to make it so it's mp4. So it doesn't matter if the input from the ad library has the mp4 extension or not. We're forcing the data to now have the mp4 extension. So then we extract it and we send it off to Gemini for analysis. And Gemini will come back with the analysis of the assets that we've given it. And then I'm just using an extract information node with a JSON schema to extract the information exactly that I need, because with the Gemini model on the video analysis, I don't believe you can define a specific output passing format. I have it most of the time generating a reliable JSON, but I just pass it through another extractor just to make sure the output format is exactly how I need. So we generate the description. So this is a description of the video itself. We have some creative insights over that video. We have a kind of a template asset description that uses a product placeholder. And so this is kind of like, here's an example of something that you could generate as a video for any given product. And then what we're doing is basically transcribing, which I showed before. We're getting the video from the Google Drive that we uploaded to. And then we're merging everything back together, aggregating it, and then inserting it into my Notion database. So my Notion database basically is configured to take all of this information and display it in a database format, which is really, really nice because it just means that everything is there ready for me to interact with. So this is my Notion, and I have my ad scraper. And you can see I've got this organized into different categories for different competitors. And I have image and video ones. And basically this is just the workflow is just dumping the ads into here. So we've got the ad ID, we've got the body, the description, the creative insights, new asset template, script ad media, which is a link to the asset in my Google Drive folder. And then I have the option, if I want to produce a new ad inspired by this performing content, then I can just create, I just select the product that I want and I generate a new ad, and that will trigger a new automation, which I will show you in a second. The image analysis is much the same as the video analysis. It's just a lot simpler. So this, again, it downloads the image, and then we're going to analyze the image here. And we're just using the GPT 4.1 model because I just found it to be perfectly sufficient, to be honest, to analyze the images. And we've just got some parameters. And yeah, then it's going to do the same thing. It's going to insert it into Notion. So once everything is in Notion, like I showed before, you can now trigger the new automation route. So we have a second route here, which is generate new ad. So I'm going to show you exactly what this route does as well. Okay, so again, we take the brand information, and we pull down the switch to the generate new branch. So what we're doing is we're just getting the inspired by ad content from Notion. So you can see we're pulling that in here. So this is the content that is exactly the same as Notion. We're just pulling it into the workflow. Now what we're doing is that is going to split into the correct route for the product, and it's going to take the product information. So I've just loaded this with a ton of information about my product, about the features, the benefits, the science, all that kind of thing. Then it just merges this back. So the reason why I do it like this is because it means that this whole middle section here is expandable, because I can just basically duplicate this and add a new product. And as long as I add the new route and link it, this one is just pulling JSON product info, and all of these are outputting product info. You see all of them are outputting product info. So once the route is selected from the Notion and I've added the new route, I can basically add 50, 100, a million products here, and they will all just merge into one because we're only using one. So it will pull it in, and it just means that the rest of the workflow is really tidy, because then it just references this instead of these individual ones. Then we're going to write the ad copy. So I'm basically just saying, use the info below to make a new ad. Here's the scraped ad information, like this is scraped ad copy, and then write an inspired post for this product. So basically we're just giving it the information from the scraped stuff that we took from the ad scraper and the trigger in Notion. And we're saying, hey, generate me something new. I have a really detailed system prompt as well that just sets some objectives and some rules. And then this is again going to pass with an output. So we want a headline and we want to add copy. So this is what it's generated. Unlock professional warm-ups anywhere. This transformed the way I start every practice. You're facing blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we get the idea. So it's very, very inspired by the original content, which is great. And then we can add our own asset to that. And then we're just going to do, again, some routing. So if it's a video that we want to generate, or if it's an image, in this case, it's an image, we're going to write a prompt for a new asset. So again, we provide the scraped ad, and we're providing here the description of the ad that was analyzed. So this is the analysis that we did in our previous step that got stored in Notion, and the creative insights, new generation guidelines, and the task. This isn't it's not showing me anything because I haven't actually executed the node yet. I'm just using some saved data. And then we've given it, again, just some system parameters to keep it in check. And then once that's all done, we're going to dump it back into Notion. For this ad I ran earlier, this is the scraped ad. This is all the media from the scraped ad. And I generated this post from it. So this is my new version of the scraped ad. And you can see that I've got my final assets here. So we also have like an example asset. So I can plug this in to have like GPT's like image generator or any other image generator create the image asset as an example, which I have done previously, and I'll show you that. But I like to create my own assets. So this is an asset that I have created, inspired by the previous ads content. I, of course, always make sure to come in and edit the text because I don't want it to be a carbon copy. That's not fair to them. I want to be inspired by the work that they've done and the performing ads that they've done. So I just make sure I come in and I make sure that it is fully aligned to my brand and my voicing and that kind of thing. But in general, it does a very good... it's very good at adhering to the parameters that you set in the Notion workflow about your product. So generally it comes out with something that's really good, and I just go in and tweak it. These are some of the example ads that I have now generated for my product. And you can see I've got various ones. I've got some really long form ones. We've got some short form ones. I have some things here. All of my assets here that I've just generated these in Photoshop because I just really enjoy doing that. But in general, if your product is a little less abstract than mine, you can have the AIs generate a very good looking asset as well. But I just wanted to show you like the types of things that I've been generating as an example. So you can see like some of them have generated some assets for me. I don't it doesn't get the image of my my product quite correct, and the spelling or the wording is not great, but it's like a nice idea for a template of an ad that I can be inspired by. And we have a slightly different one here. It's nice. It's interesting. Various different formats of ads here. So we can see this one is wearing the product. Again, a slightly different one using the product. Now, again, just to reiterate, I don't use these example ads in their entirety. I don't like doing that. I don't think that's good practice. But it is very nice to see what the AI would generate based on the new asset description. So you can go, actually, yeah, okay, I can have a stronger headline here, the product in bold here, and I've got some information, which is kind of what I did, because then I was inspired by that and I created my own version for my own product in Photoshop. And like this one for my tea, it's never going to get the pouch of the tea right. I don't know what these things are, but it's like, okay, compositionally, it's quite interesting. I could do more with it, basically. And then I went off and I created this instead in Photoshop. So like, I just use this as a really powerful tool to help me scrape ads from my competitors and from brands that I think are really interesting and I really admire. And I use that data to generate brand new ads for my business that I can then go and modify and tweak and generate my own assets for. And so I really like these assets that I've now made. And again, I've made these in Photoshop. These are my images that I have generated. But the ad content here is mostly AI generated, inspired by the previous high-performing scraped ads that I have gone and tweaked to make sure it's aligned to my brand. But again, it knows, because of the way I set up the automation, that it knows all about my product and my brand. It has all of those guidelines anyway. So the tweaks I have to do are minimal. So yeah, I just wanted to share this workflow because I think it's really cool. I really like building n8n automations, as you're probably very well aware. And this was something that I've struggled with for a long time. I don't like ads. I hate ads, and I find them horrible to work with. I don't know. I just don't like ads. And it's something that I have put off doing for my business for a very long time. So I built this as a way to help me generate some content and be inspired to create some new high quality ads. And I'm actually quite happy with it. And hopefully this means that I can optimize a lot more in my business as a result. But yeah, if this workflow, if this ad scraper is of interest to you, maybe just leave a comment below and I can help you set up your own, or we can chat about it. If this is something that you want to use within your own business, let me know and I can create a templated version of this that I can help you integrate into your own business. But yeah, I just wanted to share it because I thought it was pretty cool and I like it.